But this is where culture's so key, and this is, you know, the thing that I enjoy most about my writing and why I think it's amazing you're doing what you're doing, because for too long these kind of conversations have only happened in politics or in academia. And, you know, not many people will pay attention to those things. You only come to those things late. You will only come to academia when you're in your teens or in your 20s. You know, you probably won't start engaging with politics until that time as well. But as a child, when you're growing up, what you think the world is and what your possibilities are is stories. It's the films you watch, it's the TV you watch, it's the things that you see in magazines. And that's why making sure that you have as many different stories as possible and as many different people represented in these things are key. Like, one of the big examples that I give in the books is, when I was growing up, the worst thing you could say to a boy in the playground is, "You're a gay lord," you know, "You're a queer," like, kind of, that was, they were destroyed, like, you know, you know, to say that someone was gay, that was the end of their life. Then you fast forward 20 years into the future, and the writer Russell T Davies writes, first of all, Queer as Folk, and then takes over Doctor Who, and writes into Doctor Who this brilliant, swashbuckling, bisexual superhero, Captain Jack Harkness, who in one episode kisses the Doctor on primetime TV. And not only are there no letters of complaint to the BBC about this, but when I go to my daughter's school on Monday morning, there are boys in the playground fighting to play this bisexual character. Because we've now got a story, we've now got a character, like, you know, instead of just it being the word gay, we've got this hero that everybody wants to be. And I can draw a direct line between that show and that character, and then passing the Equal Marriage Act in this country. Because when you've got children in a playground who are fine with bisexuality and see all love as equal, you know, their fathers and grandfathers are in Parliament, can't go, "Well, we don't believe in this." You know, your children have shamed you. Culture is there to show you possible futures. And again, that's why it's so important to make sure that you've got all these different voices. And particularly, you know, if you possibly can, to tell an optimistic story, show us a better future. Show us something, show me amazing people do amazing things. Because that's what children are watching and going, yeah, that's going to be my future, I believe in that.
It's really interesting, since doing my work with UN Women and since just becoming more involved in this movement generally, people have said, "Well, are you going to give up now? Do you not want to act anymore? Are you not going to be an actress?" And if anything, I think it's actually reinstilled my passion for what I do and made it more important.
Well, the other key thing about culture is, again, kind of like, if you want to change the world, you can argue all day that something's right or wrong. You can get, you know, you can say women should be equal to men. We should see women, you know, in films equally to men, living the incredible stories and, you know, and solving their problems. You can argue that forever, but that argument can go on forever, and there's no real way of resolving it. Or you can make the right thing cool. And you can just simply show me an amazing woman. Like that, and that's what culture does time and time again. It doesn't argue. You know, David Bowie could have spent, you know, all of his life writing academic treatises and lobbying Parliament, going, you know, bisexuality and gay men who are pretending to be aliens should be accepted in society. It wouldn't have gone very far. Instead, he dresses like a gay alien and writes Life on Mars, and suddenly everyone's like, "I want to be a gay alien."
That's genius.
Yeah, culture wins. It's faster and it's more fun, because there's the whole thing about change and the revolution of feminism, and, you know, all these things, you know, we were talking about, you know, anti-racism and equality and the trans movement and stuff. It doesn't need to be worthy and like eating your fibre and your brown bread, you know, and eating your vitamins. The future should be fun, a more inclusive future where people are free to love and are not scared.
Awesome and cool.
Should be amazing. That should be a party you want to join. We shouldn't be having to go, "This will be the right thing to do." We should just be going, "This is where you want to be, man."